Alright, now set this camera up here, but don't slide around. About like that's where it should show. I'm going to show you to do this in slippers. Why I recommend slippers instead of socks, because you get some padding on there that you can slide around with without hurting, part of your feet. So the same things I do here, and I did in the boots, and I ruined a couple pair of boots, and my partner would might kick my butt if actually, I'm just being silly. She bought me a new pair of boots, so I'm not going to do that in boots without putting something on there. But this time, any of your things that you prime up. And then what I like to do is a little bit of this, then back, then this, then back as many times as you want and get back up. But then if you want to stand like this, I call it a spider pose for some reason, even though it doesn't always look like a spider. But even if you start out like this as much as you can and do push-ups this way, say you're not even that flexible yet. And I noticed that you leave your head on the ground, there's a stretch you're feeling it too, even if you're like this. I call it a more adapted version of your downward dog, whichever length, width, or whatever you spread your feet. But I try to associate with every single thing like that. But then if you stay like this, you just do push-up. Stay this way in the position for a couple of minutes. And then get back up. Do half push-ups, not always whole ones. And then what happens here, I had sweatpants on there earlier today, but like this, and then gradually you're going a little further down. Say if you can't get too much further down, don't force yourself, but just sit there like this and let the weight do it for you. Move your hands a little forward to see what happens. A little more forward. Then go crawl a little back there. Say now you're maybe like this. And then you're a little like this. And then try to go a little sideways like this. Stay on one hand. And I know you're going to be feeling this differently, say if you just sit on one hand for some reason without leaning. Lean to the left, lean to the right. Go a little further down. Say even if you don't get in the seated position, stand yourself up. Or even stay like this for a while. Stand yourself, back down, up, then back down. Do a bunch of push-ups like your feet are sliding. Use the sliding of your feet to do push-ups. Down, then up. Say if you're not ready to get in the seated position just yet, or if you haven't done the splits in a while, if you skip some days, actually if you skip too many days, you're going to almost have to start all over again, but like an exercise that you got here, down, then up. You can do entire sessions as long as you want down, then up, down, then up. You're doing pretty arms too. I'm definitely not even ready for one of those Olympic gymnastic horse thingies, like an old movie that I always watched, Jim Cotta with Kurt Thomas. You remember him? That movie. I'm not ready for that yet, but he did something on a lot of karate moves on you can see it on YouTube, I think, Village Square Brawl, and get up for a while. See, the reason why I do the push-ups, because you want to be able to get into the practice of coming up and then down. Then that way you can it's a good exercise as well. But then you can stay seated in there and force yourself into a straddle stretch. I've done that before, certain shoes or boots, like you got rougher concrete. Intentionally let your feet get stuck, if you will, and then just stay there, like forcing yourself to do the straddle stretch that you're not totally able to do. You slip or slide a little bit, but then you can use the edge of this rug even, because this rug is kind of But there are some days that you're better at it than others, and then you come fully down, I'd show you the... Okay, I might as well go ahead and show you. Say, you get about like this, go ahead and let yourself be down. And even though your feet ain't properly pointed like those dancers tell you are, that you should be, allow your feet to be stuck that way. My feet ain't in the camera good enough, but if you have somebody, if I got my partner out here to come just turn my feet this way, or anybody, if you have anybody with you, could probably just have them hold your feet, but I pride myself in doing everything by myself, so. And so this is like this straddle looks impressive to some people, the straddle stretch, but if you were to look in an aerial view, if you put the camera in aerial view, it kind of looks maybe a little bit like a V. It's not totally out, but I have a video which suggests that I'm damn near ready for that Van Damme chair stretch, and that other dude that I seen that he did stretches on chairs. Well, I definitely ain't going to be able to do the pull a barbell over my head with a stretch on 2 chairs. Hell no. That guy was featured on the Ridiculousness TV show. He wasn't a guest, but they showed a clip of him doing that, and the 2 guests that were on that episode were like 2 NFL football players, and they were like, "Oh, what's the point of it?" Anyway, sit there as long as you want. Kind of like push yourself up this way. Do a little bit of this, wave back, left and right. For some reason, how come I could go this way this much, but then this side to go this much? Hold on. See, one leg and one side of the whole body is more difficult than the other, but if you go and start over, keep doing it, you can do more and more. But see, you work on that side a little bit more. Then I could stay like this for, like, say, a while. But I definitely can't press into no handstand like you see a lot of them other chicks doing. Okay, hold on. Press myself back up going like this. But then, when you're over here to try to get yourself down into the... And then just keep doing this until you do. See, and then there's the actual seated position itself. I still got some tension going on there. Well, see, I was doing, for some reason, you see me do all this shit before, and I'm not quite doing it now. Ironically, I was doing videos earlier that I just posted the doorway stretch, so for some reason you're doing too much all day, you might lose a little bit, but then you take a break and you do it again. I don't know why that happens, you know. Some days I don't quite get it, but then if I go down one more time, you watch, I'll probably get it. But then again, I might have been at it a little too much. I don't want to rip something too, you know what I mean? But see, shake your head out. And then, sit there back then, you want to do that crow's pose. Just, it don't matter if you do that crow's pose incorrectly or not, just so you're pushing your legs out. And it's almost like you want to get in a habit of running real fast and crawling and get down on the floor and crawling real fast and shit like that. But then up and back down again. I think these pants kind of restrict a little bit too, but people tell me I shouldn't, but I don't listen. I ripped pairs of pants before doing this, but and there you go. See, I'm experiencing the pains from doing this shit a lot too, so. And here we go, like that. But see, I did the entire stretch, the entire seated position so many times before, you know, with a baton over my head and everything else. But when you've done a lot of times every day, you're just... Well, see, this ain't easy as for me as everybody else too. I've got a lot of things about my legs and knees that restrict it, so that's still pretty damn good. But some reason, right after I've been doing the stretch of the doors up like this, and I go to do some of this, then watch, tomorrow I'll be doing it, say, baton over my head again. But I think when you're experiencing some of them other, but I also got to watch too, be really cautious too, instinctively, because people with my hip types and everything else, a slight, I don't know if you want to call it a bow-legged or not, knee this a little bit. I don't want to tear anything in those, for one thing, in the knees and a part of the hip that you can almost damn near feel like something might be grind or tear. So, certain way that I get down. Sometimes I go up and down, splits just like that, you know what I'm saying? Prime yourself up first, but anyhow, here we go again. But like I said too, I can do that in shoes and boots way better. This wants to, my feet kind of want to slip this way too. So that's part of the reason. So there I am like this. And here you go. And here it is, just like that. Hey! Ooh, that feels like a couple bungee cords pulling there. But say if I do it again, maybe one more time, and it'll go. But I think you should know your limits too. Have good instincts, that's another thing. But I think that's enough for now, enough for today.